everybody, welcome to Vids. I'm Mandy MJ, and this is a part, I think, 7 of my Disney videos. If you're watching this when this first uploads, we're actually in Disney right now, but this is just a way for me to get some videos up without having to worry about editing on my vacation. Kind of really needed the vacation, so I'm going to use every bit of it. But this time I wanted to do a cast member tag. Currently I am not a cast member with Disney. I did a college program back in 2012, a Fall Advantage, so that means roughly you're starting around May, June, maybe even July. Usually it doesn't go that far though, up through December. So you're doing the fall plus the summer. The other option that you could do was the Spring Advantage, which is spring plus the summer. I really wanted to see Disney in fall, so I decided to do my Fall Advantage so that way I could work a long time, be able to get a lot of time around the parks, a lot of time in Disney, and get to see the parks at Halloween, which was something I'd never gotten to do before, and I absolutely loved it. It was such a great experience. And if you're interested in hearing more about my college program more after this, would be happy to share it. But for now, let's get on this, I guess for me it's an ex-cast member tag. So the first tag question is, what was your position in the Walt Disney Company? So I did my college program at Walt Disney World. I was a merchandise cast member, and I started out on Main Street East, which if you're walking into the Magic Kingdom, like you see the castle up ahead of you, I was on the right side. So I did stuff in the, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to remember it, but it was like the hat shop, so where you could buy your Mickey ears, get them embroidered, things like that. I worked in the confectionery. I worked in the really fancy art shop that most people didn't buy a whole lot of stuff from, but I did get a prince one time who came in, and it was like a younger son prince of someone in the Middle East. I don't actually remember his name, but he came and bought just like almost one of everything. Like, it was crazy, but that's the kind of place where that was. Like, it's the expensive shop. And then I also was there when New Fantasyland opened, so I worked in the merchandise tent in Storybook Circus. So that's like the big tent that you go in right after you see the meet and greet with Donald, Mickey, or no, it's not Donald, Mickey, it's Donald, Daisy, Minnie, and Goofy. The 4 of them are back in the tent. You go see them, you come to our merchandise tent, or you can just walk right in. And it was awesome. All right, question number 2. How long were you with the company? I was with the company for 8 months. I started on, I want to say it was May 21st. It was like May 20th or May 21st through January 3rd of 2013. So I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was roughly those 8 months. Question number 3. What did your costume look like? I had 3 different costumes while I was there, and that doesn't even include the winter stuff because winter got its own coats. So I'm going to go ahead and put those up. First, I'll start with the confectionery because it was actually one of my favorites. My confectionery costume was a really pale yellow. It had really poofy sleeves, had a really cute embroidered apron. I did get the nice little chef's hat. And then I don't remember how long the skirt was. I want to say the skirt was like underneath your knee, but like a little bit longer than that. But I don't think it touched all the way to the floor. And then they didn't want you to wear tennis shoes, but you had to wear like non-slip nice shoes, which got a little annoying because you're wearing kind of like nicer dressy shoes, but they didn't really have the support, you know, they didn't really have the support that you like would want if in a shoe where you're standing all day. But that was that costume. And then of course my Disney name tag. The rest of the costume for the other shops on Main Street, which that was the thing. If you were working the confectionery, you were in the confectionery all day. If you were working in any of the other shops, you wore the other costume. So my other costume was a long brown and blue plaid skirt with different shades of brown and blue. And then a very pretty like cream blouse with like lace. It did have a little tie in the front. It wasn't really a tie, it was just like a little decoration. Same type of shoes, so I wore the same shoes for most of my program. And is there anything else I'm forgetting? Nope, I think that was it for that costume. And then of course my, in all of these locations, except actually not the confectionery, but my other 2 locations, I did wear a lanyard for pin trading. That was like a requirement kind of as part of the uniform so that you can trade with people and interact and that kind of thing. Then my last costume was what I was wearing back in the circus. It was red and dark red striped pants, same fabric in a vest, a yellow and white striped, very thin striped shirt, long sleeve, and a hat that was like a strawman Barker type hat. Like, it's hard to explain, but you can see it in the picture there. And then for both of those locations, if you were in the confectionery, you didn't get this because you weren't really outside. But with all the other locations, my main street, I got a really long coat, which was great. And it was very similar actually to my coat back in the circus. It's very similar, but I love them because they were really warm. My one in the circus was actually a bright red though, but it was kind of like that same length, trying to go for that era, because it was kind of, honestly, it was kind of similar eras if you think about it. But yeah, so those are my costumes. Question number 4. What's the silliest thing you've ever heard a guest say? Now, I know a lot of my fellow cast members, former cast members, usually make fun of the what time is the 3 o'clock parade. I definitely had that question before, but the one that just kind of shocked me, like I didn't know how to answer it right away, was somebody came up to me. I was working at a cart at the very front of the park. So like when you first walk in, there are carts with water bottles, sunscreen, autograph books, maybe a Mickey hat, especially if the kids walk in and really like, you know, you want to get something right away, headband, that kind of thing. And a family came up to me and they asked me, "What do you do here?" I was really confused. I was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you do here in the park?" And I was kind of like, you guys just spent like $90-something per person. There's at least 7 of you. I want to say it may have been 7 to 15 people in your little party here. And you don't know what to do at Disney World? And you don't know what to do with the magic? And I was like, okay. And I walked them through, you know, oh yeah, well, you know, here are a bunch of shops. We have a bunch of attractions though, if you go to any of the different lands. And it was the weirdest thing having to explain a Disney theme park, especially the most, like the original one in Florida, to somebody. Like, I've never had to do, it was so weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It was so weird. Number 5, what is the most magical moment you've had as a cast member? Like, as a cast member, getting to do the little magical moments was something that always really stuck out to me. And there were only a couple places to do that. And one of those was one of my first nights there. Well, not my first night, but in the first couple weeks of me being there, you know, you're standing there with a giant Mickey hand, and most people are just like, at the end of the day, they're tired, they're just going home. But getting to, you know, wave to little kids and just be like, hey, have a magical night, have a great night, have a beautiful night, princess. Like, especially when you use like those words, like parents just got so excited and kids got so excited. And just some of the interactions with guests were so great. Especially in merchandise, there's like a lot you can do in merchandise, but also a lot you feel like you can't necessarily do. Every once in a while, if I could give a discount, I try to, but then like, you'll have people run in. I had a mom run in. We had closed one of the stores. She came up to me and she said, "Why is the store closed?" And I said, "I'm so sorry, that store closes early because Mickey actually goes to sleep. It was after Mickey's meet and greet. And so we closed that store. And she was like, okay, I saw dolls in there and I only saw them there and my daughter really wants them. And so I had another cast member watch my cash register for a little bit. I went to the back, I grabbed them because I knew exactly what she was talking about. They were like 10-inch dolls, like this tall, of all of the princesses. There were 2 boxes and she wanted both of them. I brought them up and I gave her the biggest discount that we could because she was stressing out about it, and she like bursted into tears. And just things like that where it's like you can make someone's day just so much better with just the littlest thing. Honestly, that's probably for me what was the most magical part of my the best magical moment for me as a cast member. All right, question number 6. What's your favorite part or perk of working for the company? So this is something I've actually talked with Cody about. My absolute favorite part was getting to bring my family down and getting to just go into the parks whenever I wanted. So really I would say it's just kind of generally the park access. A lot of times before my shift on Main Street, I would go into Tomorrowland since the Tomorrowland backstage was super close to where my backstage was. And I would just go into like the Monsters Inc. Laugh Factory and just enjoy that, or do the People Mover or something that wasn't super long and just enjoy it, you know, just laugh. And I especially started doing that later in my program when I realized like, oh, I need to take advantage of this. And it was just great. It was just so nice to just go in a little bit early to work, do that, go back, change, no big deal. Like it worked out just fine. And that was, and then of course I got to bring my, at the time he was my boyfriend, but my husband, got to bring him down and we got to have like a vacation. I got to bring my family. My grandparents had never been to Disney World, got to bring them. My whole family came down right before my program was over and had a couple days with them, and it was just great. Like I definitely maxed out my free passes, but it was totally worth it. Question number 7. What's your favorite piece of cast member exclusive merch you've gotten? Oh man, I think my favorite piece of cast member exclusive merch is honestly probably my my cast member ears, my college program graduation ears. Actually, I have them right here. But these are my ears, my Disney College Program 2012, my Mandy ears. I love these. And I know technically a lot of people get them like and everything, and oh my goodness, these are so dusty. But I'm gonna be wearing these around Disney. I'm so happy I have them. They are the coolest. It's so silly. This is what I held out for, because I felt like these ears are like me being able to say that I did this program and I made it through this program and I did it, and this is the proof of that. So this is definitely my favorite. I love it. All right, last question, question 8. If you could try a different role that you haven't tried, which would you choose and why? I actually really wanted to do the Great Movie Ride, and it's not available now since Great Movie Ride is gone. But I really like those kind of roles where you get to do a little bit of a spiel, but not like Jungle Cruise. To me, if you aren't in the right zone, it's not a good ride because you are the ride, like you are 50% of it at least. Great Movie Ride, you get to do a little bit of fun stuff. You don't have to be on constantly like you do at Jungle Cruise, but like that kind of ride would have been really fun. So doing attractions would have been really awesome. If I were a stronger performer, I would have loved to do entertainment too. But I would have wanted to do like specifically a meet and greet probably, and friends with some of our friends, like, well, Minnie's a little short, but I probably would have really liked to be friends with Pluto, and some of the other characters like that. That would have been really great. But that's my Disney cast member tag. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a whole video on my college program and how that all went at some point. But until then, I hope this ties you over before my vacation videos at Disney come out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you are. Liking and disliking that video. Any comments and dislikes are also always welcome. And thank you guys so much for everything. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!